Okay, so we are talking about my favorite leather backpacks for travel in 2025. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Desmond. I make content about tech and travel gear. And over the course of the last year, I have been testing dozens and dozens of bags. That includes leather backpacks. And I want to talk about my favorite leather backpacks going into 2025. Now, the plan for this video was actually to review all of my favorite bags for 2025, but it took me over an hour in filming, so I'm actually gonna have to break this up into chunks to make it consumable for all of you. So in this video, let's talk about my top 3 leather backpacks of 2025. So let's start with what is seemingly the most popular leather backpack on YouTube I've seen so far, and that is the Grams 28 151 Stealth backpack. This thing is a beautiful bag, and I think that's why it's so popular. One thing that I will say, none of these bags are sponsored. None of the brands are paying me to make this video. This video does have a sponsor, and that is MagBak. We'll talk about them later, but none of the bags that I'm showing you are sponsoring this video. So with the 151 Stealth backpack from Grams 28, the design and the build quality is really what sets it apart from a lot of the other competitors on the market. First of all, if you take a look here, it is a very minimal and very clean design aesthetic, right? We have a pretty classic backpack silhouette. We've got a simple front pocket here. And if you go over to the back, not a lot of random straps and things. We've got beautiful leather backpack straps, luggage pass-through, some hidden pockets, and I'll kind of walk through all the different compartments. But that is really it for the design of this. It's very, very clean and minimal. And with that said, almost everything that comes from Grams 28 is pretty minimal from a design perspective, and it all uses this really high quality Italian full grain leather, which this entire bag is made of. Everything from the handle up top to the backpack straps completely covered in leather, the luggage pass-through, and the bag itself. Now, for this bag, design is probably one of the primary reasons why I enjoy using this. I think it looks good on the body. I'll just throw it on for you so you can see. I'm about 5'10", 165 pounds or so. Overall, I think the bag looks great in terms of proportions. It looks good on the back. And because of that simple, minimal design aesthetic, it looks pretty professional, so you can take it from an airplane to the office to walking and exploring a different city. The material, of course, is premium Italian leather. That, however, adds to one of the downsides of this backpack, and it's the weight. Because this thing is built entirely of this high quality leather, and it's very thick leather as well. This thing is mostly leather and padding. This backpack empty is pretty heavy. It's the heaviest leather backpack that I actually own. But the hardware is great. We've got the little Cobra clip up here. You've got a beautiful pocket inside, that nice brown kind of coyote tan interior. And then the other thing that I will say that I love about Grams 28 is they use all these weather sealed zippers. So you've got long leather zipper pulls, and then inside you'll see a lot more of that kind of coyote tan interior, laptop pocket with an additional pocket for goods that you want easy access to. Over on the other side, we have a hidden pocket back here for your passport, which again makes it great for travel. I've mentioned it a couple of times, luggage pass-through. I need luggage pass-through on almost all of my travel bags, or else it's not as functional. Now, before we jump into the other leather backpacks, let's talk a bit about our sponsor of this video today, and that is MagBak. If you're not familiar with MagBak, they make a ton of great accessories, magnetic accessories. But in this particular video, we're gonna be talking about their Elite iPhone 16 Pro Max case. You can see it right here. It is something that I travel almost always with, because of a few things. First, we have a built-in finger grip, makes it very simple to be navigating around a city. I've got a good grip on my phone. I can have my maps open. It keeps it safe, it keeps it secure. Also, we've got 1, 2, 3 magnetic strips here, which lets you magnetize this to any metal surface. On top of that, we have a built-in kickstand. So if you are hopping on a train or a plane and you want to just watch a movie and enjoy some entertainment, having this built-in kickstand has been fantastic for me. And finally, one of my favorite things that MagBak sent over was their new magnetic MagSafe wallet. You can see here, they actually created a custom version for me. So it's got my initials, but what I like about this is it works with MagBak systems. So 1, 2, 3 different magnetic points of attachment, and it is incredibly sturdy. So again, if I'm moving through the city, I've got my important cards and credit cards here, I've got my phone, it is very securely tethered to my hand. So it's harder for people to snatch this out. It's hard for me to drop it and lose it. The other nice thing is if you've got cards in here, it can hold up to 3 cards. You've got a little cutout here to slide those up. And of course, an adjustable kind of finger loop right here that works perfectly with your MagBak Elite Case. And thanks again to MagBak for sponsoring this video so I can give you guys an unbiased walkthrough of my favorite backpacks. Let's get back to it. Finally, let's take a look at the inside. It zips open. Leather on this is very rigid, so it's actually a bit tough because the shape of this is so strong. But this is how the bag opens up here. You've got a compartment on the inside and then additional storage down here. What I really like about this is the mesh pockets and the kind of leather details over here for smaller items. One thing that you probably can't see, and I won't show it in too much detail, is the interior of this bag. You can see here is quite square, but there are dividers that you can add in like a standard camera bag. So if you wanted to bring your camera with you when you are traveling around in a different city, you can do that. I actually think that was a great design choice. It adds a lot more versatility to this bag. But again, like I mentioned, the downside is this bag is mostly padding and material. So it is very well padded and very thick down here at the base of this backpack, and that adds to the overall weight of it. But overall, of the leather backpacks I have used, this is definitely top of the list. It is very easy to travel with. The only tough thing is the weight, so it's not a backpack I would lug around a city if I have to walk around for 10, 12, 14 hours. I would choose something much lighter. So speaking of lighter backpacks, next on my list is the Friedrik day-to-day backpack. This is made from a nubuck leather, and it's got a mix of nubuck leather, full grain leather, as well as nylon and kind of synthetic materials here. So it is a mixed material bag, although the majority of this is the nubuck leather design. I personally like this bag a lot more for exploring a city because it is significantly lighter. There's not a lot of padding, unfortunately. So we've got this front pocket here, just a nice little opening, and then we've got the main compartment. That's really it with this bag. You've got a couple of zippers. It opens just like this, and inside is a darker gray interior. I personally like lighter or high contrast interiors with my bags, but this is where you'll fit your laptop, a couple of organizational pockets, and that's mostly it. It is just a large kind of cavernous bag. And the other thing that I do like about this is there are 2 buttons here that allow the bag to kind of expand in size. So overall, it's 24 liters of total storage. So you can see here, if you are exploring a city, if you're doing some day tripping and you're shopping and just buying things, this will expand to hold more gear. Not that the Grams 28 isn't a great bag for that, but this has a lot more capacity, and because of the thinner material and the smaller amount of padding, you're maximizing how much you can carry, but you are losing out a bit on protection. So I wouldn't toss, an expensive camera at the bottom of this bag and expect these 2 pieces of leather material to protect it from falling or crashing against the ground. I'd probably throw a hoodie inside or something else and then throw my camera on top of it. And a few features that I do enjoy for travel, luggage pass-through, of course. And then inside this luggage pass-through sleeve is a hidden zipper pocket. So you can maybe see I've got the pocket right here. This is great for passport, cash, whatever. When you are traveling, this sits against your back as you're moving through any city. It's going to help with safety and just overall security and protecting your goods from theft. Generally speaking, a pretty good quality bag. I think the nubuck leather adds a nice refined look while keeping the bag generally pretty light, and it feels really nice. It has picked up a bit of dust, but I think that's just the nature of nubuck leather. Overall, I like this. It's very clean. Airport, office, conference, around the city. It's a great, versatile bag. 24 liters of total storage. It's about 3.5 pounds empty, which is not bad at all. And now onto the last of my favorite leather backpacks. This is a great middle ground between the first two I showed you. This right here is from a brand called Troubadour. This is their Apex leather backpack. And surprisingly enough, the entire bag is made of a high quality leather, but it is actually quite light in comparison to the Grams 28. First of all, if you look at the shape, a pretty modern shape, kind of techy, honestly, in my opinion. Let me throw it on for you, just give you a look here. But as I mentioned, I'm about 5'10", 165 pounds. This thing fits pretty good on my frame. I think it holds a ton of stuff. And because of surprisingly how light it is, it's a pleasure to wear all day. I actually brought this backpack to Vegas. I was able to walk all around CES all day with it. It is a very manageable size. And empty, this is only 3.1 pounds, which is crazy because this is 3.3 empty. This is only 3.1. It's a larger bag and it's all leather. So a few technical details to walk through. This thing will of course fit up to a 16-inch laptop. You have a separate laptop bag over here in the back. This is 25 total liters of storage. Like I mentioned, about 3.1 pounds empty. This leather is also waterproof, so it's a special treated leather that I really, really enjoy. I actually think these zippers are great. These are huge zipper pulls, but these zippers themselves in that matte black are incredibly smooth. I enjoyed that, especially having to kind of open and close this constantly when I was traveling for CES. Just being able to access my gear and things was great. We've got a top handle over here, also leather, but underneath, very unique, is rubber. So this is like a rubberized foam. It's actually nice because when you grab it, you've got a ton of grip, but it's really comfortable to hold from the top handle, whereas the other options I showed you have this kind of classic little thing right here. This is not that great, especially if you have a lot of weight in your bag. This right here feels fantastic to hold the entire weight of the bag by. So let's walk through all the different pockets. This thing also has a lot more features from an organization perspective than the other two I showed you, although the design aesthetic is different. Let's start with the front here. What I really like, first of all, is there's this little lip. So if it's raining, if there's any type of weather, all of the water is going to drip off and not into the zipper, which is hidden under here. You zip this open and you've got access to just a small little pouch. You can see fits about the size of my hand. I've also got a little keychain clip in here. The only downside with this lip is it's not that easy to get in because the lip gets in the way. It's just a learning curve. You're just gonna have to get used to it. It zips up and then it's out of the way. And it kind of keeps that design looking pretty clean. Let's go to the side. We have water bottle pockets. That's nice. If you are walking around a city, if you're traveling and you bring your own water bottle, if you grab something to drink from a local store, you want to be able to throw your stuff into a water bottle holder. I like that this has water bottle holders on both sides. Design aesthetic overall is really nice. They're pretty much out of the way. None of that ugly mesh stuff. Turning it around to the back, we've got leather backpack straps, but on the back of those straps, we've also got a bit of a memory foam style neoprene that I really like. Adds to the comfort, and again, adding to some of the functionality. If you look at this backpack strap here, we've actually got a hidden zipper pocket. Opens up here, you can place whatever you need inside this hidden pocket, and there's a separate accessory for a chest strap. But I really like this interior pocket. You can put basically whatever you want in there. Honestly, if you're a content creator like me, sometimes I like to throw my wireless microphone right over in here or clip it in, and that way I can kind of walk and talk and it's right next to me. Just a great place to put a mic. The other thing that I will say about the Troubadour backpack that I like better than the other two leather options is the padding and ventilation on the back of this bag. So there's a lot of thought here. There's a couple of channels here that just give you some breathability. And then you've got that memory foam, like neoprene padding along the bottom, and then the two pieces that make contact with your shoulder blades. This made it really, really comfortable to carry around all day. And of course, a must-have luggage pass-through. And then let's just open this thing up. Like I mentioned, I really, really like these zippers. But here is the interior of the Troubadour Apex. Also a black kind of dark interior, which again, I don't love, but it's totally fine. There's a lot of organization in here. So we've got the Troubadour logo. We have a pocket right here, which is great. Two additional pockets. These are a perfect size for, say, a smartphone. For example, you can fit something like that in there, hard drives, power banks. Then you've kind of got a stretchy little piece here as well. I mean, let's just show you the smartphone for reference. And we've got a pen holder and lots of storage down here. And on this side, very similar to the last two bags, especially the Grams 28, you do have a mesh pocket on this fold out portion. Really nice, fits a ton of stuff, great for easy access. One thing that I am noticing with the Troubadour bag is all these zippers are really, really smooth. That just improves the usability of it because there's no snaggage happening. I think this is really, really nice. And final thoughts on the Troubadour versus the other two bags. I think overall there's just a bit more feature and functionality here. Like even the zippers have a hole for a padlock. The back is really well padded. We've got that separate laptop sleeve. That is the one thing that I will say though, is this is a very comfortable padding, but it's very thick. So it does eat up a bit of the storage space. Like you can see how thick this portion is. We've got padding, we've got two sleeves for the laptop and for an iPad perhaps, and then additional space here. So it could probably get a bit full, but because this is a much taller bag, you're still gonna be able to hold a lot. And so far this has the most storage space of the other two, 25 liters versus the 24, and then the 21 and the Grams 28. So I'd say all three fit pretty perfectly into different use cases. This is probably the one I would use most for traveling long trips, like an all-purpose leather backpack. A lot of storage, it's light, it's padded, it's comfortable, it's got features, water bottle holder, all that good stuff. The Grams 28, on the other hand, is great for minimal travel. It's a bit heavy, like I mentioned, only 21 liters of storage, but if I want something that's really stylish and great for a work trip, this is probably what I would bring, something I don't need to explore a full city with, because one, I can hold my camera gear. I've got a laptop pocket. It looks really good. Overall, it's got a lot of protection and padding. And generally speaking, I think this is just a universally liked style, which is why it's probably so popular on YouTube. But I like this for kind of short trips, day trips, things where I just need a great looking bag that'll fit with any particular outfit that I'm wearing. And then finally, there's the Friedrik, which is a little bit ambiguous for me in terms of use cases, but I like it a lot. I can just see myself throwing anything and everything into here. If I'm walking around a city and I'm doing a little shopping, just throw a bunch of stuff in here like bags or clothing or snacks or food, anything where I just want a big cavernous bag to hold a lot of stuff. And because of this nubuck leather, I'm not really worried about it getting messed up. It's pretty durable stuff. It doesn't scratch like the other leather bags that I have. And generally speaking, it's really, really lightweight. So this is great if you want to carry it empty and fill it up full of stuff, and you're going to plan on doing a lot of shopping or roaming around a new city. Okay, and those are my top 3 choices in terms of leather backpacks from 2025. Like I mentioned, I tried to film all of my favorite backpacks in a single sitting. It was just too many. So I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna do a bunch of different categories, from adventure bags to camera backpacks, tote bags, all types of things going into the new year. So expect a lot more. Hit that like button, subscribe, so you can see the rest of the series. I will catch y'all in the next one.